Penguinz0, aka Moist Critical, aka Charlie, has single-handedly become one of the most successful YouTube channels in YouTube history. With over 15 million subscribers, he's developed a cult-like following and a die-hard fanbase. He's easily become one of the most beloved creators and is practically invincible. Even though he only films his videos with a phone, a pair of earbuds, and using the most minimal editing style and thumbnails you can possibly think of, he easily manages to get at least 1 million views on his videos and post 2 to 3 times a day. How does he do it? Even though Charlie makes it look like he took over YouTube with no effort, it's actually quite the opposite. It took him nearly 2 decades of pure consistency, discipline, and quite a lot of setbacks to get where he is now. And over that course of time, he dealt with many issues behind the scenes to become the absolute shad that he is today. And also, not to mention, almost getting banned from YouTube too. So let's start from the beginning. It was in 2007 when a 12-year-old Charlie was really into the video game Gears of War. He wanted to find better ways to get better at the video game, so he found clips on a website that was getting pretty popular at the time, YouTube.com. Being fascinated with these gameplay videos, he wanted to start posting his own clips to the website and then created an account with the iconic username Penguinz0. He chose this username because 1, he liked penguins, and penguins without a 0 was already taken. That's literally it. He would start posting montages of him playing the video game on the channel. No face, no voice, no nothing, just pure gameplay. He never really got any views on these montages, it was just for fun. But after 2 years, he would post his very first video using his voice, showing people how to get an accomplishment in the game Alien vs Predator.
What's up, everybody? Today I'm going to be showing you all how to get an achievement for Alien vs Predator called Let's Rock for killing 5 enemies with 1 burst from the smart gun.
From then on, he started doing more videos where he did commentary while playing different video games.
I decided I'm going to retaliate by shooting 1 blue piece of shit at him. And clearly mine was superior because just 1 just took him out. And then this sneaky bastard came out of nowhere and killed me. Son of a bitch.
And people online were huge fans of his absolutely hilarious insults and different punchlines. And some of these videos would start to get a couple thousand views, which wasn't much, but it was huge to Charlie. But everything would change after Charlie posted the video, the most difficult game ever created, and commentary. In this video, he played the game QWOP, which is a game that was specifically designed to be as difficult as possible. Now, the 6-minute video of Charlie delivering dry and sarcastic humor over this video game would be noticed by the biggest YouTuber at the time, Ray William Johnson, who featured it in his Equals 3 series.
Now this dude made a funny video demonstrating how difficult it is to get this guy to run straight.
And it's f***ing impossible. So I'm commentating this while I'm playing. I'm struggling to get my character to take the proper running stance. But what it is you are an Olympic runner by some incredible feat. But apparently this guy has no bones or cartilage, and you must somehow control this weird ass to a 100-meter finish line.
This skyrocketed Charlie's channel and gave him the very first taste of virality.
It was like winning the lottery for me. I can still remember that day vividly. I don't think I have smiled that hard or been that giddy since. It was such an incredible feeling. It's hard to put it into words.
Considering Ray William Johnson is quite literally an OG YouTuber, it goes to show just how long Charlie has really been making videos for. And people were also really surprised that at only age 15, his voice was so deep. Now this inspired him to push harder with the content and post more videos in this style. But he still had no intention of making money off this in any way. Even though he had the opportunity to do so, he didn't really take it because to him, making videos was fun and he didn't want to ruin that. But as Charlie got older, his views on the world changed and so did his intentions. He realized that with the following he got, he realized that he can make some type of difference in the world even if it was small.
I have one goal in life, like one ultimate goal, and it's a naive one and it's unachievable, and it's probably the stupidest thing you've ever heard, but I want to end corruption. And I know that that's probably impossible because to end corruption you would pretty much have to change human nature itself, unfortunately. But I really think that I could at least make corruption not so fucking common. That's what I want to do. When I was around 17 years old, I took a really hard look at the world and I saw a lot of good things, but I also saw a lot of bad things. And I drew the conclusion that a lot of the bad things stemmed from corruption. So since then I've been trying to find ways that I could mitigate it. And for years now I've been trying to find a way to do that or think of a plan, and I still don't really have anything. So now you all know my goal.
And soon enough, that's when Charlie got the idea that he could monetize all of his content and then donate every single penny to charity.
But recently I thought, what if I did get YouTube partnership or partnership with something else and give 100% of the profits to different charities? I would keep nothing and give it all to charity. So that way I could help people and still do this for fun.
And he would keep his promise by posting the proof on Twitter every single month with the donation amount and to where it went. Charlie slowly started to get a very solid following, getting 500,000 subscribers by 2012. But it was also at the same time that he went into a deep depressive state that was so bad that he lost the passion entirely for making videos. It was at this time that Charlie was entering college and he felt completely alone. And at the time, he was also dealing with a lawsuit because of a car accident that he got into, which only further added to stress. What happened was that Charlie was driving behind a car and out of nowhere they stopped completely in the middle of the road and he had no time to stop before that and slammed into the back of it. Charlie himself and everyone else that was involved in the accident was completely fine, but the driver sued him for false accusations of injuries.
So I was driving home from that class, and it's just an ordinary commute and bumping some boner jams, and then all of a sudden the car in front of me slams on their brakes and I had absolutely no time to react. So I rear-ended that car, and then that car rear-ended the car in front of them.
Even when dealing with the loss of passion and with the stress of the lawsuit, he still kept posting videos because he didn't want to disappoint his fan base by not posting anymore. And even then, he still doubled his following. However, by 2014, he found a very solid group of friends in college who helped him lift him out of his depression and help him get back into the passion of making videos.
And then in 2012, I completely lost the passion for making videos. From about 2012 to the beginning of 2014, probably, I just hated making videos. It was just a chore for me, a hassle. I didn't like it anymore. That's when I really hit the darkest point in my life, not just, making videos, but everything. But starting in mid 2014, early-ish 2014, it was my sophomore year of college, and I got with a really good group of people that became my best friends. G was one of them. I've talked about G in a bunch of stories before, and that really turned my life around. My real life started to get better because I was hanging around these really positive people and having a lot of fun, and then I started to find that passion again for creating things, playing shit games, and then branching out and making new things, and that's just continued to this day.
And soon enough, he started going harder than ever, reaching 1 million subscribers by the end of that year and donating more than $50,000 to charity. Charlie was still very, very secretive of his life at this point though, never revealing his face, his name, where he's from, nothing. And it's hard to imagine there was a time where he was so private about his life considering how open he is now. But as time went on, he would slowly start to become more and more open about his life with his viewers. The same year he hit 1 million subscribers, he graduated from the University of Tampa with a bachelor's in human sciences. But 1 year later, he revealed that he was struggling to find a job and had completely given up.
Now, I don't know how many of you remember this, but a while ago I made a video about when I was getting sued on false injury charges from a car accident, how I was unemployed at the time, and that was over a year ago. Well, I'm still unemployed to this day, and that situation isn't improving anytime soon because I've stopped looking for a job over the last couple of months. I've just given up on it. It's really hard to find a job these days that's decent and doesn't make you miserable, and I don't even know what I want to do with my life to begin with, so it makes it that much harder.
Given the fact that the average salary for a human sciences major is $44,000 a year, I really don't blame him. Now, he was still living with his parents at the time, so he wasn't exactly about to go homeless. But he still wanted to make a living and do something with his life. But even at rock bottom, he still had no intention to make YouTube his full-time job.
This is never going to become a job for me. YouTube will just never ever be a job for me. It'll only ever be a hobby.
But to help him get by, he made the decision to keep half the money for himself and then give the other half to charity.
So what I've been giving a lot of thought to recently is doing a split with the YouTube money here. Keep 50, donate 50. That would help me get my life together, and it also allow me to keep donating to charities, which is something I'm very passionate about and I don't want to stop anytime soon.
Still a very noble move that was completely supported. But on top of being lost in life and unemployment, he was still struggling with lots of issues in his life, including the lawsuit. Eventually, the woman won the lawsuit and got $5,000 out of Charlie and his family, which was pretty big for him at the time considering he wasn't really making much. But at the same time, Charlie was getting completely screwed over by the management company that he signed with, Maker Studios. videos. Now, this was back in the days of YouTube before the partner program was available to anyone who was eligible. If you want to get your content monetized and make money off it, the best chance you had was signing with a management company who had the direct connections to YouTube. And Maker Studios was the most popular one at the time. Now, if you watched my video on Ray William Johnson, you know that this is a very shady company that would do anything they can to milk their clients for anything they got. So much so that Ray almost sued Maker for withholding his AdSense account from him. And the same thing happened to Charlie, as they were completely robbing him blind. Now, while the usual split for a situation like this is a 90-10 cut in favor of the creator, Charlie was given a split of 60-40, meaning they were taking 40% of his AdSense money when really they should only be taking 10. Now, Maker knew that Charlie didn't really care that much because he was going to donate all the money to charity, and he wasn't really experienced enough to know what the actual standard cut is, so they took advantage of that. Charlie was still doing all of the content himself. He wasn't using editors or anything like that, yet they were still taking this gigantic chunk away from him. And even then, Maker would severely delay giving Charlie his own cut, taking months at a time sometimes to give him his money. And on top of it all, they had his contract auto-renew every single year for 3 years straight, which is not how it's supposed to work. There's no such thing as a contract auto-renewing. The individual needs to sign to the contract every single year when it's expired, even if the terms are completely the same.
Maker Studios is just so lazy, so unorganized, and just doesn't give a f about any of the people in their network. Now, over the course of the last year, I've placed 4 support tickets with Maker to not have my contract auto-renew itself, which I think is just a scummy business practice in and of itself. A contract shouldn't auto-renew. You should have to sign off on it each time it tries to renew. So I went on Twitter and I posted about how fucking tired of Maker I was, and then almost immediately, well, immediately relatively speaking in Maker terms, 2 days later, Maker responds saying, "You will be free from your contract this coming February." So, going to Twitter, making a big public hoopla about it is apparently the only way that Maker will at least acknowledge something's going on. I just want to let everyone out there know, do not sign with Maker. It's just a warning to all of you, do not get on board with Maker.
So Makers was doing lots of shady and illegal practices. And to make things worse, all of the charities that Charlie was donating to ended up being complete scams.
And unfortunately, many of the charities I've donated to over the years have been corrupt organizations, which really sucks because I knew going into this that many charities weren't legit. So I did a lot of research on each charity I wanted to donate to, but it turns out many of the websites that rate and review charities, like Charity Navigator, are just as useless as the charities themselves and just as corrupt.
Now, Charlie got a lot of respect from his audience coming off as genuine. He made a mistake, but he wasn't really afraid to admit it. Again, being so transparent with the audience really showed just how much he really did care. In reality, he could have just ignored this or not even mentioned it, but he really wanted to tell people the truth. But just when you think things couldn't get worse, Charlie also found out at the time that his girlfriend was cheating on him. He opened about the whole situation in a drunk spew in his videos on top of all of the other issues that he was dealing with.
But today I found out she's been fucking another guy while we've been trying to work things out to be together again. And it really hurts.
Now, things possibly couldn't get any worse, right? Well, wrong. At the same time, Charlie's channel would also get 2 strikes on his channel for copyright infringement. These strikes prevented Charlie from being able to upload for a full week. And if you're familiar with how the guideline systems works, if you get 3 strikes, your channel is completely banned and you are not allowed to make any other accounts. Even though Charlie did not deserve these strikes at all, he was still 1 more away from losing his channel completely. Charlie tried getting help from Maker to help him with the situation, but they were still ignoring him and not helping him with anything. Seeing that they were his only form of connection to getting any help of any kind, Charlie was completely hopeless. And this was easily Charlie's worst point. He was on the verge of losing everything in his life. No job, no girlfriend, no life, and no YouTube. But there was a light at the end of the tunnel. The first ray of hope was when Ethan Klein of H3H3 offered to help Charlie. He reached out to a connection he had over at YouTube to try and look over the strikes to see if they can get removed. They looked at Charlie's account, saw the strikes were complete bullshit, and completely removed them. And Charlie's channel was now safe. Ethan is a G for that. From then on out, Charlie got much more personal with his content. He started to really open up with his audience a lot more, talking about how he suffered from OCD and hypochondria.
This is for anyone out there that has obsessive compulsive disorder, and I hope I can help you out a little bit. So my universe got ass blasted when I was around 12 years old. I started having these routines that I needed to follow or else I just didn't feel right. And then eventually these routines evolved into these rituals that I absolutely had to follow and could not break. And they were very weird rituals. I mentioned one of them in that video 2 months ago, but there was at least 100 different rituals. I had to sleep in a certain position on my bed. I couldn't even go to sleep unless I put on the movie National Treasure every night. So I had that movie run every night for 2 years, and I'd just fall asleep during it. And God forbid if that CD ever got scratched, I just wasn't sleeping that night.
Charlie being so open and vulnerable with his audience made his viewers have a lot more respect for him because they were actually able to relate to him. It takes a lot for someone to be able to be so open about the issues they face with a very large audience. It allowed people with similar issues to resonate with Charlie and make them feel not so alone. The overwhelming support for Charlie helped him give purpose and motivation for creating more and more content and to get more personal. And eventually, on the 10-year anniversary of him being a YouTuber, he got comfortable enough to do a face reveal for his audience. In this video, he told the story about his come up on YouTube and a lot more information about himself.
Hello. What's up, everybody? It's Critical. Delivering a really high enthusiasm intro for this very special video. So this year will be my 10th year on this shithole of a website called YouTube, and I wanted to do something very special, something very much out of my comfort zone, which this is, because this is my first in real life video on this channel. I know this is some groundbreaking shit. No YouTuber has ever gone so far as to put their face on the shit they create. I'm really blasting open a new door into this golden age of YouTubing. So I'm happy to be the pioneer here.
Now this was a complete bombshell. From being extremely conservative about the smallest details in his life, including his name, to now being completely open and transparent about the darkest moments in his life was a complete 180. And the fans were not disappointed. They were impressed. Now as Charlie showed his face more and more on camera, he also started to do more commentary videos in the world of YouTube or on just recent stuff. Whether that was roasting creators who got into scandals, movie reviews, or making fun of stuff he saw online, he always knew how to talk about something and make it very interesting. People loved what Charlie had to say, even if it was just him making fun of some dumb product he saw online. Now 2018 would be Charlie's biggest year yet. He posted some of his biggest videos on the channel at that time. His beef with Riley Reid, his story of being featured on Hunger Games, which was his most popular video yet, and his video ranting about cringy YouTubers whose entire content is just flexing expensive stuff. This would be one of Charlie's biggest themes, as he would go on to roast content creators for being cringy, being a negative influence, or roasting them for whatever he felt was roastable. But almost any time, it was justified. It was also around the time that he started streaming on Twitch and found pretty quick success. He'd stream himself regularly playing video games, reacting to videos he found interesting, or just chatting with the people, even giving away money often. He'd post these reaction clips onto YouTube, which became huge hits. His video, A New Slapping Champion Has Arrived, a video of him reacting to a slapping contest, became his third most popular video on the channel with 21 million views. By 2019, he was one of the most popular commentary channels on the internet and also delved into other content such as telling funny stories and doing tier lists. And as a respected commentator, he was also like a weapon. His commentary videos are the equivalent of the kiss of death, because if he makes a video criticizing you in any way, your career as a content creator is basically done for. He's kind of like the Eminem of content creators because he is not someone you want to beef with. There are endless, and I mean endless, creators whose careers have died directly or indirectly from Charlie's videos. When YouTuber and stand-up comedian Def Noodles posted an awful stand-up set he hosted, Charlie made a reaction video that was more hilarious than the set itself.
And I don't give a fuck.
Neither do I, bro. Come on, we in it together, doggy.
Huh?
Hey, you got
Don't
dimples
spray
too. That's what's up.
Yeah. You want to make out?
No.
Yeah, I know it. That's why I asked.
Oh! Oh! My man! My man! Yeah! Alright, this turned less from roast into like a desperate attempt for human connection. Gee Willikers, I tell ya, he's finding it. The chemistry between these two is off the charts.
Def Noodles responded in a very bitter and immature way, leading Charlie to respond back to him. And fast forward now, Def Noodles doesn't even scrap 1,000 views on his channel with over 500,000 subs. Now another example is when Charlie made a video on the money guru Jason Wojo, who was trending pretty hard at the time for being a cringy Andrew Tate wannabe.
Take you for example and me, and we both pull up and we go to your girl. Odds are I'm gonna take that bitch. If you compared me to you, you're not gonna win that that battle.
Bro's out here rocking that man dark body type and acting like he for some reason be able to take your girl just because he rolled up in a rented McLaren. This guy's entire personality is money. He's like a real life Mr. Krabs, but with even skinnier arms.
Jason responded in the worst possible way and basically made a fool of himself.
Dude, this is insane. I honestly feel bad. Like, dude, 12 million subs, I would put together a better video than this. This is insane. This video has how many views? 350,000 views, okay? This guy spent all this time making the video. He's gonna make probably 5 to 10 grand off this video alone. And he's talking about how you shouldn't buy a course. Well, he just talked shit about somebody for 9 minutes, made 5 to 10 G's, but I'm selling a $97 course that I never pitched, so I'm the bad person. Makes a lot of sense.
And then it wouldn't really take long until Jason got exposed for not paying his editors and would also go so far as to delete his TikTok account. After Charlie made a video about the YouTuber Maximilian calling him a pedophile, he straight up deleted his channel. And one of the most infamous cases was when he hilariously responded to Sneeko in their ongoing beef, correcting him on simple gun terminology.
You wanna watch my clips? Watch my clips. Watch my clips. You want me to watch your clips? Watch my clips. These are the only clips I'm watching, you were?
Now, the reason he keeps saying watch my clips while threatening me here is because during the stream, I couldn't watch him live because he just kept shouting slurs. So I said watch my clips to see what I was saying about you. I had to communicate via Twitch clips. And I'm sorry to be that guy, this is like the grammar police of guns, but he's a fucking imbecile, you absolute buffoon. What you have there is not clips. These are mags. They're mags, not clips, you absolute fucking dummy. The same way that this is also a mag. They're all mags. Stop saying clips, you look fucking stupid here. Anyway, sorry for the gun anatomy lesson.
This very simple insult completely tarnished Sneeko's reputation and stained his career. And these are just a very small pinch of all the creators that Charlie has dismantled over the years. And not because he was trying, he was just simply being honest. He's not trying to end anybody's careers by any means, he's just simply giving his thoughts on a situation that he feels is worth talking about. Over his near 20-year reign on YouTube, he has rarely ever gone into actual controversy, and when he has, he's always handled it very well. For example, in 2023, iDubbbz made a video discussing how he regretted many aspects of his content style and the harm it had on his viewers. Now, he was notorious on YouTube in the mid-2010s for his edgy style and often using many offensive slurs. Now, older, he regretted making that type of content as it may have taught young, impressionable children it's okay to say these type of things. When Charlie made a video about it, he denied that this type of style of content had any actual negative effect on people like how he claimed.
I feel like the main pain point of those videos he used to make is the slurs in them. Like, his catchphrase was 2 slurs strung together, right? Like, that's not exactly something to be super proud of. I get that. But to go back and say, like, all of it's shit, all of it's, you know, bad and cruel, I think is going way overboard, because it's not. I don't think any of it was cruel. I don't think the criticism was unwarranted. But it's fine to just regret the way you handled it to a certain extent without saying all the content was damaging or cruel or bad.
The fact that Charlie genuinely believed that iDubbbz using slurs did not have a negative effect on people brought much negative criticism to him on social media. Now, Charlie would address this soon after, but did not apologize for it.
I feel as though the content he used to make did have a message. He wasn't coming from a place of genuine hatefulness. I don't think he was ever like a real racist or an actual bigot. So when I said I don't think the apology's warranted, what I mean is I don't think what he did was so damaging and scarring to the online space or individuals that for 7 years he's needed to carry this guilt where he felt obligated to finally apologize for it.
He didn't seem disappointed or distraught over the bad reception. In fact, he almost encouraged it. He stood by what he believed and did not back down. And his audience still didn't agree with it. But even then, it wasn't really an argument with his audience, it was a simple disagreement. By keeping his stoic manner, Charlie was able to handle negative criticism very, very well without it really affecting him or his channel in any bad way. And the controversy was basically non-existent after a week. Now, outside of YouTube, Charlie started to go into other successful ventures. He started a rock band called The Gentlemen, and they started releasing music. Their first ever song, 2019 Guy, was received very, very well and got over 10 million views. Now, despite very little musical experience and the fact that they're a YouTube band, it was unironically a very solid song. In 2021, Charlie released his own graphic novel series, Godslap. The print was very successful, and Charlie even considered making it an animated series. He even started his own esports organization, Moist Esports. In less than 2 years, he was acquiring members that would win legit giant tournaments. He even got his own collaboration with the energy drink giant G Fuel. That says a lot for just how big he really is. And this isn't even like all of the things that he's done. And over time, he also slowly dominated Twitch. Now, one of the things that accelerated his growth was when he was a part of a streamer chess tournament and he beat XQC in just 6 moves.
I can't believe it. He just lost. Yes! 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 Bang!
Over time, Charlie would gain over 5 million followers on Twitch, making him the 38th most followed streamer. Charlie has become a staple in the YouTube world as one, if not maybe the biggest commentary channel ever. He didn't do it by trying to constantly clickbait people or trying to be the best. He did it by doing what he's very good at, being himself. It's pretty often that we'll see big creators often get exposed for even scamming their audience, but not with Charlie. With Charlie, what you see is exactly what you get. He never tried to seem perfect. He's not a famous celebrity with millions of followers. He's an average dude that makes videos that people enjoy. His trials and tribulations helped him become the man that he is today. He's the same 12-year-old kid that's been posting Gears of War videos on his YouTube channel, even keeping his style of bio the same, and also even wearing the same exact shirt over the years. With over 6,000 videos posted over the course of the years, he's remained consistent by pursuing his passion. He has never let the money or the attention get in the way of his morals, and that's why he will never fade away. And when he does die, he will die a legend.